now at lesson 11, working with the KR260, making garments. Okay, so we're at page 75 in our manual here, out of 113 pages. This is my second kick at this one. So we are going to cast on a few stitches, and we're going to go into how to increase multiples, and how to decrease. And this book goes through when you're in 1 by 1 full needle, and then decreasing 1 by 1 in full needle. This book also says how you go into partial knitting. So you're going to use your Russell levers. How to increase knitting while like for doing a dart and stuff, or a circular blanket. Partial knitting of a racked pattern, so that's going to be a little hard to demonstrate, but we'll see what happens here. Increasing knitting part, decreasing knitting part, partial knitting of a drop stitch pattern, increasing pattern, how to transfer purl to plain, how to transfer plain to purl, and how to shape a round neckline. This sounds pretty fun to me. So we're going to start with increasing the stitches. So let me cast on a few stitches and then we'll get going on this one. Okay, so now we are at increasing the stitches in 1 by 1 rib. It says place the carriages on the side in which you wish to increase. Raise the end needle to working position B, and the empty needle will pick up the yarn. So, second one. So you knit across. Okay, yes, it picked it up. And when we knit across, it'll knit it again. So that may look good here in video, but there's actually a better way. So what I would rather see you guys do is to pick up the purl bump of the stitch above and put the purl bump down below. Pick it up, knit across. Okay? It's way neater. The other way to increase is to put them up top. Okay? Take your transfer tool, move it over. Fill in the gap with the purl bump from below. Transfer this one down. Make sure that things are out of play. Now knit across. You want to reduce the amount of stress and the amount of bulk on that end needle. That one's pretty easy. So if you're increasing more than 2 stitches on one side of the knitting width, again, you are working on the same side as you have the carriage. I'm going to back up the camera so you can see what we're doing. All right. So what it wants you to do is it just wants you to bring up the stitches. 1, 2, 3. Well, let's do an even number here. 4, 5. All right, so you're bringing up these 5 stitches. You need your 7 weight for this one. And a little bit of weight on the 7 weight. Okay, so 7 weight with weight. I'm going to lay that right there. Now it wants you to take your yarn and lay it in the needles. Okay. Now you take your 7 underneath. Make sure that you hook. Hang on. Make sure you hook those and lay it across. And now it says you get to knit across. Okay, that's cute, but you can do better. Absolutely, you can do better. So let's look at this side. How do we increase better? Well, E-wrap. Counterclockwise, clockwise, counterclockwise, clockwise. You can still put your 7 weight on there. In fact, I'll grab another one. Okay, 7 weight. Knit across. Cool beans, right? Now, I could go right into full needle rib, but I'm not going to do that right now. I will do full needle rib in a after this one. So let's do decreasing. Now this is fairly easy. So to decrease, all the book wants you to do is to take your stitch and move it down. You might want to move that one up so that it catches. And you knit across. Pretty easy, right? Now, as for multiple stitches, it wants you to move them up. 1, 2, let's do multiple, right? 1, 2, 3. Taking a deep breath, making sure that your ribber needles are out. Now what it's asking you to do is gate peg. So you were going through, behind, through. If you've seen any of my knit-alongs, then you know that I use gate peg for the underarm, under the armpit, so the armhole reduction. And that's where I end this one. There we go. That's the last of that. Okay, I'm going to knit across. Now, before you knit any more, make sure that you release this side. So I have to take off that 7 weight Otherwise, it's not going to go well. So remove your 7. Put it to the side. Pick it up with your stitches. And put it back down. Okay. Is there a easier way? Well, when it comes to reducing one stitch, instead of just moving it up, because you are again adding that extra bulk. So if you move it up and you move its neighbor up, then you can use your 2-prong transfer tool, move it over, move that one out of play, and then move this one back down. Okay, make sure that's still good. And then go across. I'll show it to you again. We're going to move this up. Move this over. Move this back down. And knit across. When it comes to seaming up your knitwear, no matter what it is a lot easier to find the stitches that you need to seam if you don't have them doubled and tripled up. If that makes any sense. So again, 1 up, in this case 2 up, 2 prongs, transfer, and then move this one back down. I believe this is called a fully fashioned decrease. 1, 2. If you want to see it again, we move this up. Move this over. Move this back down. Out of play, knit across. Up. Well, yeah, we'll move this one up. Up. Over. And back down. And that is how we do decreasing and increasing in 1x1 ribbing. I am now going to reload my yarn and we will do full needle rib increases and decreases. So when we are in full needle rib, the book says what you need to do is you need to take your single prong transfer tool and you are grabbing the purl bump from the stitch before on the top. Hang on, it's thinking about it. There we go. And the purl bump from the stitch below. Now if that purl bump is being misbehaved, you can pull down on it and it usually opens up. I think I have too much weight on here. Give me a second to ease it up a little bit. Okay. I just removed my 7 weight here. just reducing a little bit of the weight. Okay, open that up a little bit. All right, now we will grab that pearl bump. Okay, you can't really see what I'm doing. One sec. So I have that pearl bump, and I'm moving it over. And now it says we can knit across. Whew. And knit across again. And one more time. Okay. Increasing more than 2 stitches on one side of the knitting. Alright, so it just says the exact same thing that we did before with the 7 weight. So I really don't need to go back into that one because it's pretty clear that you just lay the stitches on there, put on your 7 weight, and hope for the best. Good times. Decreasing in full needle rib. So it says you just flip them over. No, we can do that. So in order to decrease 1 stitch, then all we do is we go 1 and flip it over. And this one and flip it over. Pretty easy. And then knit across. Oh, so hard. Decreasing more than 2 stitches on one side. According to this, we want to move these up. Looks like towards the outside. Well, it has, the book shows on this side. So we're just going to, yeah. Okay, we're going to follow what the book says. So moving that up. And we're just going to move 2 stitches. Okay, 3. 3's good. So we're going to move 3 stitches. Okay. Ribbon goes out of work. Now this is really, really technical. This one should have been, I don't want to do that one. Okay, I would rather gate peg from here and then put it on that one. So that's my method, okay? So you're gate pegging. Make sure you're not getting caught on your ribber gate peg. 2 over to this one. As you can see, I didn't go behind the gate peg this time. So I'm playing yarn chicken. Going around this way. The problem with not going behind the gate peg is that I risk it being way too tight. And it's probably not going to look as nice as it would if I did it the other way. Now, I don't like leaving my stitch underweighted on here, so I'm going to take a claw weight, put it up in behind, and just weigh that down just a little bit. I also have 1 extra on the full needle rib here. Which I shouldn't have. According to the book, I should be just inside. So we're going to knit across once, and then I'm going to move that over. So knit across once. Now I'm just going to move that one up. And take it out of work. All right, knitting across. 1, 2. Whew. Okay. I can't wait to see what we've got here. Partial knitting of 1x1 rib. And increasing. Okay, so we need to go back to 1x1 rib. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop right here and see what we've got. We're going to take it off the machine. Okay, so here's the result. This is that 7 weight on the 1x1. I'm sorry, but to me, that's sloppy. Okay? This is... Oh, we dropped a stitch. Oh, naughty. Okay, this is an increase where you use E-wrap. So you see this big change here? This is the 7 weight. This is the E-wrap. E-wrap it. I didn't realize that I dropped this stitch. My bad, everybody. This is your decrease using gate peg. This is a gradual decrease where you are using your transfer tool. And as you can see, those stitches just nicely, you know, do their thing. Which to me is a lot neater than the other way. Fully fashioned here. So increasing, and with the increase on the fully fashioned, it's actually not that bad on this side. So yeah, we didn't do a huge increase because we already saw it here, and I'd rather see you guys do E-wrap. Okay, this is the gate peg. Yeah, well, that's the gate peg where I didn't go behind the gate pegs, so that's not bad. Yeah, I like the more gradual decrease. To me, it's a lot neater. And now I'm going to rewind this yarn because I like using this yarn over and over. And we will look at partial knitting. So this is where we will play with, hang on, we are going to play with the Russell levers on the ribber and the hold feature on your main carriage. So what we will do is we will do a circle or a wedge. I think a wedge would be pretty cool. Up next, partial knitting.